Hello everyone and welcome to another brand new Ukraine video. Today guys, as you can see, I got some new stuff up here. Like a flag, a Ukrainian flag, and also I got a new Ukrainian shirt, as you can see right here. In case you're wondering what is written up here, it's Все буде Україна, Slava Ukraini. It means all will be Ukraine and peace to Ukraine. And that's what we hope for on this channel. And today guys, we have some better audio than the last video because I got some new headphones. So I have collected a few of people's different videos of different meanings that they have about the situation and how it has impacted their lives. We would be reacting to a pretty well-known internet personality who is famous both on YouTube and Instagram. Apparently he's also called the sexiest doctor alive. So if you didn't know, he is a Russian-born American, and that means he was born in the Soviet Union if you count in that he was born before the Soviet Union collapsed somewhere on the territory of modern Russia. So let's see what he has in common with what's happening right now.
When I was 6 years old, my family and I escaped from Russia and came to the United States as refugees. Today I want to share that story and talk about how those experiences shaped my feelings on the current Ukrainian-Russian conflict, where I still have family living to this very day.
So yeah, it was a pretty harsh reality. If you lived in the Soviet Union, you would understand how hard it is to live there. I can't understand since I was born in Ukraine after the Soviet Union collapsed, of course. 15 years later, actually.
Being that I was so young when we left Russia, I don't have a lot of memories as to what my feelings were at the time, what I even knew at the time. But as I became older, I had more questions from my family. I repeatedly questioned my father, why did we leave Russia? Why did we get refugee status? And he consistently told me the same points. One, it was the political corruption. I mean, money runs the world in Russia. Bribery was rampant, especially within the government. After the fall of the Soviet Union, my father told me that the economy was literally up for grabs by the oligarchs there. Certain individuals gained huge economic power while the majority of the people were living paycheck to paycheck, were even unable to make ends meet and were starving.
I find my food in the bin, he cries. Why was I born? For what reason?
Trust me, it was completely awful to live there back then.
Second was the anti-Semitism aspect. My father, born in Ukraine, is Jewish. In Russia, there was anti-Semitism that was growing, and he felt it economically. He felt it even throughout his education process. And the final thing he was worried about was what would happen to me and my sister. He saw crime was at an all-time high. He saw the economy was collapsing. He saw that the education system was suffering. There was so little money being put towards the future of Russia. And he became...
Yeah, it's so true that so little money has been put in the future of Russia. It's like someone just stole the money or something.
Turns out he was right about almost everything. 25 years later, the risk that he took, well, him and my mom took to get me and my sister here, has paid off. And I owe them a debt of gratitude for completely changing my life.
The Russian forces came in broadly on three fronts, from the north, from the south, and from the east.
What's most terrifying about this is that Belarus allowed Russian troops into their territory to come closer to Kiev, the Ukrainian capital. That way, they wanted to take over Kiev and the whole Ukraine for only 3 days. Thankfully, the Ukrainian military did not let that happen and pushed them back. There is really little to add, because he's doing a great job of telling it all. Mariupol was a city in eastern Ukraine. It was completely destroyed by the Russians, obliterated, I would say. There were 400,000 inhabitants in the city before the war started. It's such a beautiful city that got destroyed. I will come back to that later and talk about it.
Innocent bystanders are suffering. Soldiers that are merely protecting their own homeland are suffering. The economic sanctions are not only destroying the ones in power and the oligarchs and hurting them, but they're also hurting the everyday people.
One resident, Svetlana, purchased more than 20 pounds of sugar in the city of Vladimir, an hour away.
So I'm hopeful
City
that
of
there's some sort
Vladimir.
of diplomatic
Okay.
solution in the future. And while my responsibility right now is to my patients and the ones that I take care of in the hospital, I do want to do something for this war. There is a way for me to support Ukraine. As many of you know, I have an upcoming boxing match that was recently announced against iDubbbz. Every dollar that I'm going to earn from that boxing match, I'm planning on donating to the Ukraine Crisis Relief Fund hosted by Global Giving. I've done a lot of research on this foundation. It has 4 out of 4 stars on Charity Navigator. My Patreon community recently donated almost $6,000 to this organization. They have a goal of raising $20 million, having already raised $17 million. Also, all the proceeds of this video, all the AdSense revenue, will go to the Ukraine Crisis Relief Fund. I'm also making this an official charity video where you can donate. Anything you can donate matters. To the Russian leadership and politicians, please end this war. There has to be a diplomatic solution here. And to the Ukrainian people, know that we stand with you. Thank you for watching.
What a beautiful video. So that was it. So there was really little to add. He has done a really great job of telling it. To you guys, please share his word. It's actually it really makes sense, the story and all this stuff. See you later in the next video.